20 years ago this year, I won the UK DMC DJ Championships at the Shepherd's Bush Empire in London. And I then went on to represent the UK at the World Final, where I came 4th. Recently, I've been reflecting on that set from 20 years ago, and there is a moment at the end of that performance where I perform a trick using the platter on the turntable, which I take off and turn upside down. I then put the cartridge on the magnet on the underside of the turntable, and I create this deep, wobbly, rumbly bass sound. Now, to this day, I still don't know why that sound occurred. If you look closely, I actually take the stylus off the cartridge, so the sound is not coming through the stylus. So in this video, we're going to take another look at that part of my performance, and hopefully somebody down in the comments can let me know why the turntable makes this noise when I do this trick. So let's get straight into it. Back in the early to mid 2000s, lots of DJs performing in the DMCs were ending their sets with these big, impactful, original ideas. Some DJs were taking the needle and putting it right in the middle of the record and tapping it to make a percussive sound. The scratch perverts were using this mad technique called feedback, which created these insane sounds. DJ Kentaro had a routine where he had stickers running across his record and the needle would run over these stickers, creating beats. Around this time, I was entering the UK DMCs. I entered it in 2001, I got to the UK final in 2002, I came 2nd in the UK final in 2003, and in 2004 I won the London Heat, and that was the year that I thought I really might be able to win this. But I wanted my set to end on something impactful and original. So I started looking at the turntables and trying to come up with something that nobody had ever done before. That's when one night at home while practicing, I decided to try turning the platter upside down, like this. So once I turned the platter upside down, I took a look underneath the platter and I noticed that there is this giant magnet right here. The problem is though, when you put this upside down like that, it's very wobbly and it doesn't really have a stable base. So I took the Polo, the 7-inch adapter on the turntable, and I thought about putting it here. Luckily, the 7-inch adapter sits right on top like that. It doesn't fall all the way to the bottom. So I took the platter, put it back on upside down, and whilst it's not perfectly stable, it's definitely more stable with the 7-inch adapter located there. Now the problem is, if you turn the turntable on and press play, nothing happens. So you actually have to spin the platter manually like this. Now at this point, I was just messing around and I don't actually have much of an idea other than this of what I'm gonna do. At the time, I was using the Shure M447 cartridges. These are the new G-Co J44A7s, and I've not tried it with this, but fortunately, I have an OG M447 cartridge right here. So I put this on, and then I took the needle and I put it around the platter and realized that I'm either gonna damage the stylus on this cartridge, or it's just not gonna actually make any contact with it. So I decided to take the stylus off and just play around. So I spun the platter. I quickly realized that if I put the cartridge anywhere around here on the platter, nothing really happens. However, if you put the cartridge on the magnet, it makes this crazy noise. Now, this was a time where UK Garage had kind of ended, but it had branched out into grime and dubstep. And it just so happened that that wobbly bass sound was really big in UK underground music from producers like Scream and Benga. So I thought, I've got to do this. I've got to put this in my DMC routine this year. So I set about practicing. In the end, I decided to do a routine with Dizzy Rascal, I Love You, which was a big new track at the time. This is the actual record from my set. So I put this on the other deck, and that is what I made the routine with. If you want to see the original routine, which I won't do here because of copyright, you can easily find the set from 2004 on YouTube. But what I'm actually going to do today is put together a very short updated version of this routine for you to check out at the end of this video. I'll be using this Pioneer DJM S9 mixer, which has filters and effects and lots of toys that I didn't have at my disposal in 2004. Now, before we get to the new updated routine, I would like anybody watching this who has any idea why the platter makes that sound to let me know down in the comments what is going on. I think there is some sort of magnetic field being created which is making this noise. The noise is not coming through the stylus because we've taken the stylus off. There is no stylus on that cartridge, which makes it even more baffling. I still don't understand 20 years later how this sound was made. So somebody help me out. Let me know down in the comments why it's making this sound. If you've enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. And without further ado, let's check out the updated routine.